All right. What's up, everyone? Daddy Warbucks here, and thank you for joining us again for some Adventures League. Today we are playing DDEX20, which is the City of Danger. And for anybody that is new to the Adventure League system of play, it is a style of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. It is the one that is designed for public play within the Wizards Play Network, and it differs a little bit from traditional D&D, but it is altogether still a lot of fun. Before we get too much into today's session, let's go around, introduce the rest of the people we have in our party, and see who we will have adventuring today. So, Cleric of Cord, why don't you go ahead and tell us about your character first? Okay. Right on. How about you next, JW?
Hey guys. Yeah, I'm playing Spinach, the turtle monk. He wears a lot of like autumn colored clothes, and he's really addicted to tea. And yeah, he's got like ghostly white skin. He's covered in lavender colored flower petals as tattoos. And he's got a little ceramic teacup around his neck that he wears like a necklace.
Okay. And then Tree, how about you tell us about your character and who you are?
Hi, I'm Tree Pelt, and I'm not important apparently. It's fine. You don't need to know who I am. It's fine. I'm playing Thea. She's a half-elf ranger. Pretty much just like didn't like her parents, all stuck up, stubborn teenager kind of thing. So figure out what's going to happen from there.
Okay, all right. And our story today is going to be taking place in the city of Mulmaster. And Mulmaster is a city in the Moonsea region, which is where all of Adventure League takes place. It is northeast of the Sword Coast, and so it takes place within traditional D&D timeline and setting. The city of Mulmaster, interesting thing about it is a city very much that it is dictated on rules and order, and it is mostly confined to two major groups that operate within the city. There is the Blades, which is a group very much like knights that are they're mainly there to observe, the law, and they exercise the law through the use of force. And then there are the Cloaks, and the Cloaks, their job is to regulate the use of magic within the city and make sure that magic is not being used irresponsibly to where it could be of a danger to anyone. I keep looking over to this screen and the camera's all bugging out, so I'm just gonna ignore that. Someone rolled a nat 1 on their technical check. Anyway, as you guys are all in Mulmaster for various reasons, whatever personal tie you have to actually venture out into the world and start adventuring, you've landed here, and unfortunately, it looks like you might have to be leaving soon because you're running low on funds. Now, the rumors you've heard about the harshness of the city you thought they seemed exaggerated at first, but having spent a few days here, the rumors are completely accurate. Most of the citizens here are openly hostile to outsiders, and the City Watch is more than licensed bullies, with the merchants only as friendly as the coins that you can offer or bribe. It looks like you would have to leave the city for lack of coins, but fortune has smiled upon you. There is a wealthy merchant named Astrid Sage, and she is looking for a way to gain a noble title for her family. And in order to try and gain that noble title, she is going to hold a party. And she's not looking to hold just any party. She's going to have a 10-day rager. And she's going to invite all the noble houses and all the most influential and fancy people in all of Mulmaster. And basically, she's hoping that if she gets everybody, sauced up enough, she can convince them to make her a noble family. And this celebration is going to be open to everybody. And it's going to have free food, free drinks, entertainment, and as you would expect, a raucous and rowdy celebration such as this could also be a situation where some undesirable elements may try to gain interest to the party. So, in addition to the staff, the catering, everyone else, she's also hiring guards, bouncers, and spies to make sure that nothing terrible goes wrong at her party, which is where the three of you come in. With very little money and few prospects, you find yourself begrudgingly in Mistress Sage's employ. She seems to be a generous enough employer. She's offered you free food and lodging as long as you are working for her during the course of the 10-day event. And even better, as you are here working for her, then you have an opportunity to rub elbows with some of the nobility, which could also come in handy when you're looking for employment in the future. So, that is the background for everything. And what we are going to be doing today is I have several different encounters that we can play through tonight, depending on time, because we don't want to get caught off like last night. So we'll play through one, and then since this party is a 10-day event, and then we'll return to the party, go back to our bouncer job, and then see what else the night brings. And we're going to start. Today's festivities at the Sage Estate have been fairly peaceful. There was a few disorderly drunks that you had to remove from the premises. There was a pickpocket that was caught, causing a stir. But the most loudest and violent confrontation didn't involve any revelers, but was between two of the servant staff. You guys weren't personally involved. You witnessed it from afar, but you could see that one of the seamstresses, a young woman named Binici, was, quite irate, and she brutally attacked a stable hand named Larch. Larch was escorted home by the city watch, bruised and quite upset because he was attacked, and he's kind of embarrassed about it. But that was several hours ago, and you thought nothing of it. It was just this minor scuffle, and then you're welcome to draw your own conclusions about why this young lady attacked him. However, as your shift is ending for the night, you are approached by a man holding a very crooked staff and a brooch, identifying him as a member of the Cloaks, the organization that any citizen practicing arcane magic must register with. He looks down at the three of you. I am told you witnessed an attack on my brother earlier today, he says pointedly. Perhaps you could explain to me why he has not made it to our estate. Oh. I have indeed spoken with several members of the Watch. They reported having escorted him halfway down the road, and him insisting on being allowed to travel home on his own. So I was hoping to talk with some of the witnesses of the encounter and gain some more information. Go ahead.
She attacked him and beat him up, and I didn't know he was your brother, and I don't think anybody knew who he was your brother. So, sorry.
I mean, it's not our responsibility to make sure he got home. That was their job.
Yeah.
Just be calm, man. Like, just relax. Everything's peaceful right now, man.
Well, this is most upsetting. So, you three, you're the hired hands that were bouncing the party, correct?
Yeah, I mean that's.
Are you available for
responsible.
another side venture, maybe?
Well, I mean, we're kind of working for, Astrid right now. I'm not sure we can really kind of run out on that contract.
Oh, things are happening here, right? They're closing up for the night. The party is ending. I mean, you're soon to go home, correct? You surely you can look into a matter on my behalf and earn some extra coin.
What is
And-
this
Oh,
matter?
Well, I would just very much like for you to search for my young brother. He's been involved with some things that would look rather unfavorably upon my family, and it would be better if it did not come to light.
Yeah,
So
the brothers
you
are like
want
that,
us-
aren't they?
You want us to keep the shady shit your brother was supposed to be doing still shady. I feel this is a you problem.
That's one way you can look at it, but it could very easily become a you problem as well. And he kind of points to the brooch on his chest, denoting him as this very prestigious member in one of the cloaks. He says, "We can. I could either hire you for your services, give you coin for your time and efforts, or I can conscript you and force you to work on my behalf."
This is a blatant threat, isn't it?
Oh, no. I would never do something so disnoble as threaten anyone within our fine city.
Can you give me tea?
Tea?
Yeah,
Isn't
tea
there-
leaves.
He just kind of points to the table. He's like, "Isn't there a banquet over there with all manner of food and drink?"
Their tea isn't good quality. I need good quality.
How about I just give you golden coin and then you can buy whatever kind of tea you would like?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
Right.
I guess we're doing this now. He's after tea.
Yeah, you guys are stuck. He agreed for some tea leaves and no gold coins. No.
He gets tea leaves, we get coin.
He walks over to that aforementioned banquet table and grabs himself a little snack and starts to chew as he eats. He chews as he talks to you and gives you more information, but he's being like real obnoxious about it. Like he takes a bite, he's like, and total complete disregard. You could tell he's very entitled and doesn't really care for how others see him. He says, "Now, my brother Larch is a simple boy, nearly 18 years, and he's got a fairly good heart. He simply hasn't the guile or wit to be involved in anything truly terrible. But he is a simple stable hand, and even though he talked about one day bringing honor to our family, he still has a long way to go before he were to join the ranks as a paladin of Tyr. Unfortunately, he has gotten himself with a woman, and I'm afraid that it's his involvement with this woman that could have led him to ruin. And I'm a little concerned that maybe the interaction here was deception. You'll see, I know that you would not have guessed by my pleasant demeanor and my very appealing sense to those around me, but as a cloak, I often have to deliver news that is less than favorable, and I've acquired many enemies within the city. So his absence is very alarming. And even though I'm sure that he's just off with this tart from the bar, I'd very much prefer that we check on him, make sure that he is okay, and that you return him to me so I can set him back on the right and proper path.
He ran off with the pastries?
Yes. She is very pale, I assume, but
Negative 8 intelligence, guys, sorry. He's trying to figure out, I mean, is it the woman or is it the pastries?
The woman.
The woman.
Yes.
And her name is Tart.
Oh, no. Oh, what is her name? I can't say that I've ever taken the time to discover the name of this woman my brother is so infatuated with. But either way, I do so need you to.
That's the first thing about you, I believe. Sorry.
It's like, so ask questions, look around, try to find where my brother has went before. I really do fear the worst.
Okay, so out of character, real quick, just to clarify. Benice is the one that the brother thinks that his brother that Larch ran off with, or is there a second woman involved?
No, that's the seamstress that attacked him.
Okay. So there's another woman that he thinks his brother ran off with.
Yep, potentially.
Right. Okay.
Getting a better picture of the kind of family that we're talking about here.
Yeah, Rudy at this point is going, I'm not sure this is the kind of family squabble I want to get involved in. I survived the gladiator ring. I'm not sure about this one.
All right. As this cloak member who didn't even bother to introduce himself, I'm not realizing.
I was just saying, so what is your name and how much are you going to pay us?
Oh, I am Nelvan, and I will pay you, let's say 100 gold coins. That's the amount that you would make working at this party for the entire week. I will pay you that just for an hour's worth of work. A piece. Surely you don't think that you are that valuable. There are other adventurers here. I can just as easily find someone else to do the job. And I'm afraid you've wasted so much time already. I'll tell you what. I can give you an advance. I'll give you half the gold now, and I'll give you the rest when you return to me, my brother. That's the best I can do, and I'm really not interested in haggling any further.
All right.
Okay, anyone else?
Sounds good.
Tia just kind of shrugs it off and she's like, I'm just here to make money right now.
Okay. So, he begins to leave, and he says, talk with the seamstress first. Maybe find out why she had the tenacity to attack my brother in the first place. We'll see if we can determine what else my idiot brother has been into. If you have need of me, and you do discover my brother, you can return him to my estate on the north end of town.
All right. Time to go look for some pastries, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
So I want to start kind of asking the servants if anybody knows Benice and maybe where she went.
Okay. Actually, first servant you come up to is one of the wait staff, and he kind of strokes his beard for a second. He's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure that her and the other seamstresses are still just off down the road. I think they don't leave for home for another hour or so." So,
I guess we'll head that direction.
You guys are all so quiet. It's okay. Come on, limber up, man. All right. So heading down to talk with Benice. As you enter, she's in the room alone, and she's got a dress spread out over her legs, and she just immediately stops and looks up at the three of you. Yes? Can I help you with something?
So you were fighting with that kid. You weren't. It wasn't much of a fight. You kind of really attacked him, and that was well done, by the way. You have some very, very good moves. I want from a professional. Trust me, you got some moves.
I'm pretty sure we could all agree he started it, but we do have some questions for you.
Okay, so when you guys first enter the room, you can already kind of tell, like she's guarded and she's kind of wary about saying anything. But as soon as you mention the altercation from earlier, you can see it on her face. She kind of purses her lips and she's like, she furrows her brow and she's like, I've already told the City Watch everything that I know. I don't know where he is. Why are you asking me about him?
No, we just want to know what he did to piss you off. Honestly, I'm very interested.
Well, I'm also convinced it's none of your business what goes on with me and him. I mean, you're a stranger. Why would I tell you?
Because he's missing, and that makes you suspect in his missing?
Okay. He's missing. You're a suspect. So you should tell me. Go ahead and make a persuasion check, Rudy.
Alright.
So 9, and then do you have any mods?
Yep, +2, so 11.
Okay.
Oh.
She shakes her head, and she's like, No, I don't care if I'm implicated in anything. I'm not responsible. I don't know where he is, and I've already told everyone that.
You did not just snap at me.
Okay. So, are you guys involved? Were you involved? Did you know about the pastry at the tavern that he's really interested in?
You can continue to ask your questions. I'm not going to say anything more on the matter.
Okay. Can anybody here say that you were here the whole time?
I'm still here. Everybody's seen me here.
Just checking. You know, maybe you went away for a little bit and came back.
I mean, we saw you at the party beating the shit out of him earlier, so.
Yeah, well, maybe you should go check out his regular haunts. I mean, he could be at home. Maybe nobody looked for him there. Maybe he's at the Shrine of Talos. I don't know.
Oh,
why would he be at the Shrine of Talos?
I don't know. That's just somewhere he might be. I don't know anything. Please, I have a lot of work to do. You have to leave me to my business. And she kind of looks down at the dress on her lap, and she's deliberately ignoring you now. Just kind of, I went away.
Oh, we got something out of her. She's just ignoring me. I'm just gonna talk in front of her.
like she's also being like super passive aggressive. Like whenever if you were to approach her and say something now, she just kind of mocks it back at you while she continues selling.
I mean, they tried home. They tried home. That guy yelled at us. Let's go try that other place she mentioned.
Well, I mean, Thea, you do that ranger kind of stuff, right? That means you're good at like finding things in the forest type thing stuff, tracking people. That's it.
Yeah, I don't think being in a forest right now helps us.
No, but if we follow his footsteps to where he left the guard, maybe we can find out where he went after they left. You see if there's like any. We could track. You see if you could track him from there.
I also think what she said, as she points to her being blatantly over there sewing, she did say something interesting. That maybe we should check that out if it's one of his hangouts. We might get a clue there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, but if he wanted to be a paladin of Tyr, Talos, I don't think is a temple he'd be hanging out in.
His brother did say he was in some shady shit.
That's true. Let's go check it out. What do we got to lose?
Okay. As you begin to walk in the direction of the temple, where she kind of indicated that he could be, you can see that there is a tower here where most of the other towers here are set into surrounding walls around Mulmaster. It's roughly 20 feet tall and providing access to the top of the city wall. You can see that there is a single door that leads into the tower from the side of the wall. And as you approach the tower, there is a strong gust of wind that hits you, nearly knocking you off of your feet.
Oh, that was interesting. Any reason for the wind?
Do a nature check.
Oh yeah.
So looking around, you're just
total
baffled. You see like there's not a cloud in the sky, and you're looking around and you're just, what happened? I don't understand.
No clue.
So, what would you guys like to do? As a matter of fact, as you stand and contemplate the existence of this strange gust of magic, another blow of wind comes barreling out from the tower a second time. And then why don't the three of you each roll me a strength save. Hello. All right, there's Tree.
I think we may have lost Spinach.
I have
Yeah.
4 2 saving throws in the strength. I'm reading
Okay.
this right.
So you have an 11?
Mhm.
Okay. Rudy passes, and you kind of brace yourself against the wind. But Thea, as this gust of energy passes by you, it knocks you to the ground, and you land kind of hard, taking 3 bludgeoning damage. Just a bump. Just ouch. But you are definitely aware that this is not normal.
Yeah. Just that magic stuff? No idea what's going on. Rudy's
I'm
just
just gonna
like,
kind of up and dust myself off and be like, that fucking ow.
that
Okay.
wasn't natural, was it?
No, it was not. And actually, as you're standing here, you can hear a man screaming from on the top of the tower. Help! Put me down!
Well, looks like we got
Where's the
something
door
over
into
there.
Where's the door into the tower?
It's standing open just off to the left of the road.
Oh,
It's actually like the
Going-
source
going.
of these gusts of wind.
gotcha. All right, sorry, mental picture. I start running.
Okay.
Slave up.
The inside of the tower is has very little furnishings actually inside of it, and when you walk inside, the space is divided into a couple of holding cells as well as places for guards to rest, storage lockers for weapons and armor, and other places for official City Watch business be carried out. Entering and looking around, you see nobody else inside the building, but then you notice 2 figures, both wearing City Watch uniforms, unconscious on the floor. You can see puddles of blood that are kind of pooling out from around them, and as you edge closer to examine, it looks like they've suffered a blow to the head.
Are they still alive?
Looking down, their injuries do not appear to be life-threatening.
Okay. Once I know that they're breathing, then I'm going to start heading up where I heard the person yelling for me.
Okay. As you go up the stairs, you find there is a, and you can see it very, very clearly. Okay. And you can see that there are 2 of them set maybe about 10 feet up the stairs and then 10 feet from the first. It is a small stone pressure plate. It doesn't appear to be a part of the stairs. It seems like something that was just set there. You can see a carved image, like a glyph, that has been set into the top of it, and in the darkness, you can almost see a shimmering coming off of the top face of this stone step.
So this looks like a trap that's been sprung. That's probably why the City Watch were. I'm going to before I proceed any further, I'm going to step over the glyph. I'm not going to step on the glyph. but I want to look and see if there's anything more like that on the steps.
Well, two things, right? One is that I remember there was a second one about 10 feet from the first. And the second is that as you step over the glyph, just when your foot passes over and kind of casts a shadow over that stone square, you can hear like a tinkling sound, and the glyph seems to light up, and then a gust of wind bursts forward, and it's right under you, and it kind of sweeps you off your feet. If you can, make another strength save.
All right.
I'm assuming Thea's like a step behind, and she's just kind of looking at these like, what is it? And then she just sees her go whoosh.
Okay. So 16. Okay. So you manage to kind of, hang on and brace yourself before you're knocked down. But the glyph is still there on the stairs. There's not much you can do about that. Right, at least right now. Is there anything you would like to try and do?
Do I think if breaking the stone that the glyph is carved into would smash, if I smashed it, would that...
Only one way to find out.
Alright, so he's going to prop his glaive up against the wall and pull out his flail and attack the glyph with his flail.
Is the screaming still heard from the roof?
Yes. As you guys are kind of making your way up the stairs, you can hear that there is still some yelling going on up there.
Does there look like...
Hang on!
Does it look like there could be any other way to like get around these steps?
No, it's a very, very narrow spiral staircase, only maybe 6 feet wide. So you could try to squeeze past, but again, the operative word here is try. We don't really know the mechanics of what's been placed here.
I don't understand the mechanics of stairs. Got it.
Not the stair, the glyph.
It's the stairs. Can't understand these stairs.
All right, but Rudy, you said you wanted to try doing the fighter thing, right? You just wanted to see if you could break it. I think you clicked your headset again. We lost you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
okay.
Hulk smash.
All right, go ahead and let me see what it says here. Go ahead and make an attack roll like you would anything else. Okay, so you bring your, what was it? You said an axe?
A flail.
Flail. You bring your flail down, you smash it into the glyph, and you just roll roll your damage die for me.
Okay.
8. Okay, so you hit it, and you can see that the stone immediately cracks. And as it does, that shimmering kind of property that was sitting on with the glyph just immediately just kind of explodes and expires in the air.
One down. I'm gonna go do that to the next glyph, glowing glyph.
Okay, again, another attack roll.
All right.
Okay, 16, also another hit, and then the damage. And 9. So again, same thing as before. You smash the glyph, and this one explodes. But unlike the first one, that just kind of, there was this explosion of light, and there was nothing really. This one, there is a loud, audible crack as the magic inside the glyph is dispelled, and the resulting burst of energy is so extreme, even the walls kind of tremble for a brief moment, and you can only assume that sound was heard for quite some distance.
as the building shakes, I'm gonna be like, "Are you sure you want to do that? This doesn't seem safe."
Well, I mean, we got to get up there somehow. And I run back, grab my glaive, and start running up the stairs again. We're on our way.
All right. So as you climb up to the top of the wall, you hear a sickening thump, and then as you make your way through the stairs and up to the top, you can see a very strange sight laid out in front of you. You can see a man who has just been literally just been rendered unconscious. As you reach the top of the steps, you see his body fall and lay prone on the ground. And you can see that the man was bound with rope, and he's lying at the feet of a man dressed in black and gray robes. And with the coloration of the robes and the symbols that are on like the shoulders and the breast, you can see that this appears to be an acolyte of Talos, wreathed in swirling winds. Between you and this odd scene, there are several burly humans wearing City Watch uniforms, all of them armed and armored, and there's something somewhat familiar to all of the men that you see. Can I just have both of you make a perception check for me? Okay, so
Yeah.
all right. So, but 10. Alrighty, Frost. I think because each of the encounters are real short, so we'll pull you in on the next one. All right. Thank
I have
you.
a plus 2 on
No worries.
and I still see nothing.
No, actually, Rudy, our very observant fighter. When you look at them, you realize the reason they kind of seem so familiar is because a lot of their features are very similar to Binacy, the seamstress who had attacked Lurch in the first place. And it's very easy to see the familial connection here. As you look around, the man who is wreathed in storms, he kind of gestures his hand over the guardsmen that are standing there. He's like, "Do not hesitate, children. Talos demands you kill the intruders who stand in the way of your vengeance. You must break their bodies, give them over to the storm, and then this man will be punished for the slights he paid to your family."
Or you could not do that. That would be good too.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Or,
I mean, Rudy's going, we don't have to do it that way.
Wait, are we gonna get confused? I thought they were the ones doing the weird stuff.
All the City Watch, they're all her brothers and cousins and stuff, and apparently they think Larch besmirched her honor, as it were. And
yes, there is much besmirching going on.
yes.
I don't understand
pastries.
adult.
It's just don't leave the pastries alone.
Okay.
Talking to the guardsman.
Rudy's just like, oh, here we go again. And he just gets into a fighting stance. He's like, all right, let's do this.
That's right. Because the guardsmen, they have zero interest in talking. They seem almost frenzied at the cleric's words, and they just grab their weapons and begin to charge. So why don't the two of you go ahead and roll me initiative? We'll pull up. +1.
Oh. I have a +0 to initiative, so.
Awesome.
I got a +2 to initiative. It's fine.
Yeah, but I'm gonna look at Thea and go, Thea, can you take out can you do like distance stuff? I'm kind of like close up stuff. If you got distance stuff, if you could take out that cleric, that would be really helpful.
She's just gonna get her bow out. Just like, this, right?
Yes,
Okay.
that. Yes, do that.
So, in initiative, it's gonna go Rudy, then the guards, and then Thea. So, Rudy, you are up first. What would you like to do with your turn in combat?
All right, I am going to. How many guards altogether do I have in front of me?
Just two. Just two.
Just two? Oh,
Yep.
This is going to be.
There's two guards, and then there is the priest who is wreathed in shadows. But as the fight begins, he kind of turns his back and he continues like reaching up to the sky. And the fact that he's completely surrounded by this swirling vortex, and he is reciting some incantation. I'm not quite sure what's going on there.
Yeah, I'm going to worry about the two that are in front of me. I'm going to move up to the two that are in front of me, and I'm going to attack the one to my left. We'll start with, say, the one to my left with my glaive.
Okay. And 12, is that with your mod?
It should be, I rolled a 12 plus 5, 17 total. Sorry.
Okay, 17 will hit, so go ahead and roll your damage die. It's fine.
Okay. All right. And I am also going to, because I love Variant Human and Adventure League, I took Martial Adept, and so I have the sweeping attack maneuver. So when I hit a creature with an attack, I'm going to use my superiority die to damage the other creature with the same attack when it hits. So first I'll roll this damage. 1. So that's 6 slashing to the other guy. First guy.
All right, and then to the other.
He's only going to get 1.
Alrighty, pretty solid hit. And then after that, the guards will get a chance to retaliate. So they are going to run forward, and they are armed with spears and shields. They are going to run forward with spear in hand, and they're just going to charge you because you guys have just started this encounter, and you've already asserted that you are a big threat because you hit the one, and he is grievously wounded, and he's kind of lurching over, and he stabs down at you, and +3, so. Ooh.
How? Oh, yeah. That will actually hit. That will actually hit.
First die I chucked today, and it's a. All right. So let's go ahead and grab this, and yes, that is 12 damage on that spear thrust. It was a very mighty spear thrust. It just
the joys of level 1 characters, because I'm now at 0.
Yes.
That dropped me.
Yep.
I knew I should have brought a cleric.
Well, oh no, he was a monk. He was okay. The second guard is going to run forward, and he's going to use that spear, and he's going to try and stab Thea now.
I'm gonna panic.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the attack roll. 19.
Yes, that hits.
Yow. Okay. 19. It's not a crit though. It's not a crit. Yeah, that would just be my luck, right? have all these
TPK your
technical
party?
issues. We finally get it sorted out, and then we just TPK everybody. So 5. That is 6 damage.
Down to 3 HP.
All right, and Thea, it is gonna be your turn.
Feel unprepared because she told me to pull out a bow to get the one. But I'm just holding a bow in my hand. I try and like just disengage and just get out of this. I'm just panicking. It's like she told me she got it. I don't know what to do.
Okay, so you're disengaging, you're backing up, and then are you gonna end your turn?
I'm probably just looking around trying to find something that could help.
Okay. All right. After that, here's what's happened. You guys, you start backing up, and things are looking very dire because because Rudy is laying on the ground. You're outnumbered 2-1, and as you're backing up, you see something just run past you. They come darting out from the direction of the stairs. And as you look up, you see what you can only guess is an elf, because it's just a blur as they rocket past. And then, Corella, you want to tell me what you'd like to do for your turn?
Alright, so what I'd actually like to do is use my movement to get up on some sort of ledge. Is there a roof, something like that nearby that I can kind of climb up onto?
This whole encounter takes place at the top of a tower, so
Alright,
so literally
sorry.
there is nothing else.
Okay. So at which point I'll just get past them and draw my sword and have at the foul creature say, Go, run! Take her with you!
Starts dragging the body away. I got this.
Sorry, just my attack is +5. Nice. Oh, did that wrong. Try that again. Not a D105. That's a whole other thing. D120
Okay.
+5. That is a 19 to hit, please.
19 will hit.
And that's 1d6 +3. Do I get sneak attack? Oh no, because everyone's moved away, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm an
yeah.
assassin. They've all gone, correct? Are they all gone?
Yep.
Okay, then that
Yes,
doesn't
they-
make a difference.
It doesn't. You know what though? You were hidden at the start of your turn. Yeah, you just came in out of nowhere. So we'll say you would have advantage anyway.
Oh, nice. I like this.
Roll that
Alright.
sneak attack die.
So that's 1d6 +3 with the short. Oh, I'm not doing very well with this rolling. Let's try that again. And then an additional 1d6. That's a total of 12 damage of the slashing
Okay.
persuasion. No, piercing
So you
persuasion.
come up, and you slash at the closest guard to you. And tell me, how does he die? Because these guards are not very hardy people.
So he dies, the blade just literally goes into him, and then as he's looking shocked, he doesn't know where this high elf has come from. The blade just goes like the extra 6 inches like through his chest, and there's blood kind of trickling down as the sword comes out, and she turns to the next fiend in the room.
Okay. All right. Rudy, laying on the ground, can you make a death save, please?
No.
I mean, I could.
All right, that is
And I could
one
fail
fail.
that too. Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah, it's going to be one of those games.
One remaining guard. He is going to try to stab. I have you in my notes. Corella? Sure, let's go with that. Corella.
However,
He's going to try and
it's
stab you.
Elven. No one says it right.
It's a beautiful name. We're going to stab D3. 22.
That totally hits. You monster.
I gotta turn off the stream hacks. I accidentally left them on. So D8. Yo, no, that's a D10. That's
No,
I'll
it's
take
a D8.
it.
It's a D8. Right?
I see a
it's a
10 on that
D10.
die.
Oh, you're on 10.
It's hard to tell with the 3D dice. But we'll just take the 4 instead of rolling it being higher potentially.
So what did he hit me with?
Spear. It was piercing.
Great. So I imagine it just like goes into her shoulder all the way through that leather armor, and you just see the blood starting to trickle because she is definitely bloodied after that first stab.
Oh no. All right. Thea.
I'm still panicking.
Still panicking? So what does that mean for your turn?
Don't panic! Help!
I'm assuming I'm pulling her away to where it's more of a distant now.
Okay.
So since I still kind of had the bow out, I just kind of threw it over my back to pull her away a bit. I'm gonna whip that back around, and I'm gonna start shooting at the one guy with the arrow because I've got a bit of a better distance now.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
What is that? The strength thing?
No. For you, because it's a bow, you're gonna roll a d20 plus 2, which is your proficiency, plus your dexterity mod.
Throw that thing. Did I throw it? No. Throw. There
you
It
go.
needs to go onto the chest.
So 16 plus any of your mods would be. Do you know how much? It's going to be a hit, but you're trying to find it.
Was it the dexterity mod? That would be
Dexterity.
I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. That's...
Okay. So that's a hit. Go ahead and roll your damage die.
What is that?
It'll be listed next to your longbow, which I
1d8.
believe is. Yep.
The 8? Which one is the 8? This 8? No.
Yep, that was it. For 6 damage. So tell me, Thea,
It's
how do you
1d8
kill this
plus
guard?
2.
Yeah.
But I'm serious. Like as she's panicking, she just kind of pulls it out, and it's just like straight through like the throat or something. It's like she was trying to aim, but it didn't work. So she's just like, oh yeah, this works. This is totally fine. I totally planned that. You all saw that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Gotta help you.
So instead of hitting him center mass, he just gets hit in the throat, and he has this long, painful, gurgling death as he falls to the ground. And with the 2 guards slain, the priest, right, swirling around, you feel the wind and energy kind of explode off of him as his rage begins to grow, and he looks around, and looking down at all of you, you see that he is quite upset that the ritual has been disturbed, and there is a blinding flash of lightning. And after your eyes recover, you can see that the man is gone. Right, the priest has completely disappeared, and in his place there are a series of they are small creatures about the size of a cat, but they resemble red feathers hawks, and when they stare at you, you can see where their eyes would be. There are red motes of burning light, and you can practically feel the malice radiating off of them. And I'm going to keep you guys where you are in the initiative tracker, but now I'm also going to have you fight 4 of these weird bird things.
This is terrifying. I don't like this anymore.
I'm just gonna keep dying here.
I'm just gonna keep dying. I hope not. I mean, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll add you to the tree. There we go. We're ready to rock and roll. Okay. He's dead. So Thea, right? You just took your action. After that is going to be Karela. I'm gonna get it right eventually.
It's fine. It's a made-up name. It's okay. And it's Elven, and you're not Elven. We're used to it. So, I turn to Thea and I say, "Go! Take her down the stairs. We shall lead them and create some sort of bottleneck. One at a time is much easier than 4."
Is that guy still like tied on the roof?
Larch? Yes, he's still tied up, bound, restrained, and laying there on the roof.
We need to get that guy. I can get her to safety, but we need that guy.
We can get him after the birds are dead. Priorities. We need to survive.
Are you sure the birds won't take him? They got wings. I'm pretty sure they can fly.
I'm pretty sure they're after us. Can you not see their eyes? And she'll nudge Thea as she's backing up with her bow, using her movement to get a bit of distance. I'll take an attack of opportunity if they do that. I don't know how close they are to me.
They're about 10 feet from the edge of the platform where the priest was to where you are at the entrance to the stairs.
Okay, so I can safely back up. I'm going to back up, hopefully through Thea dragging Rudy, and when I get back enough, I want to take a shot at just one of the birds.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
I almost rolled a D100 then. I've been playing too much tonight. That's a 24 to hit.
That's definitely a hit, and you can roll your damage die.
Nice. Let me just check what that is. With short bet, it's a 1d6. And because they haven't gone, oh no, I'm not a high enough level to do that. Never mind. 1d6 first. Sorry, I've been here for a few hours now. That is...
Oh, you're doing great.
8.
Okay, so your arrow pierces through this tiny creature's crimson body, and when it does, it's not like a physical creature where there's a wound and blood. The arrow passes through, and then there is a sound, almost like a miniature thunder crack, and then there is an explosion of red feathers, and the bird is just gone.
Well, maybe no chicken for dinner, but that is 1 down and 3 to go. Keep going backwards.
Like she's a fucking drill sergeant. Like, okay, she's got this. She knows bird.
Okay. Next is the Bloodhawks. They are going to fly forward. And like I said, they're fairly small, but they're about the size of a cat, and they just begin to squawk and peck at the two of your heads. So we're gonna do this. I'm gonna roll all 3 to hits first, and then I'll roll the damage if applicable. So it's going to be let's go 2 to Thea, and then 1 to Karela. So Thea, okay, a 1 hit, 1 miss, and then I don't know what that 4 is, and then 14, 18 because they have a 4 mod. So hit, miss, hit. That's 1 hit to both of you, or 2 and 1. Okay, so Thea takes 2 and Karela takes 1. I know that really hurt.
Okay.
It could have been worse. And after that,
you foul.
And after Rudy, you're still bleeding. I need you to make a death save.
All right.
Okay, a pass. One pass, 1 fail.
Yes.
And then it goes back to Thea.
I'm assuming I'm still kind of trying to drag her, and I got the bow. And I tried to smack at them with the bow, like swatting them away with it.
Sure. We'll do it. Just go ahead and roll just a flat d20. You wouldn't be like proficient with improvised attack, but we'll see what we. That's a d12.
That was not it. My dice ran away.
All right, 15 will hit, and then I don't know. Let's just call it a club. Just roll a d6. For 3 damage. So you hit it, and you kind of knock it out of the air for a second, and it's kind of it's laying there on the ground, little stunned.
Get over there! No.
All right.
Good shot.
After that is gonna be Corella.
All right, I get that sword out, bow gone back on the back since the Avengers are still there. The Avengers? Sure, that's what these birds are now called, the Avengers. And I have at them with my sword. Is it a bonus action to change weapons in Adventure League?
No. It's just your free interaction with an object. Just I'm pulling out my sword.
All right, and because of Thea being right there, do I get my sneak attack too? If I hit with a 21?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Alright, so I'm gonna roll 2d6 plus 3. Alright, 8 total slashing. I'll take one of the beds still up, not the stunned one for now.
Okay.
Just one of the blockers.
So your sword cuts through it, and again, little cracking noise, and a poof, and feathers come raining down.
War of attrition is successful. Happy hunting indeed.
2 remaining bloodhogs. They're going to, collect themselves, and instead of just attacking wildly, they seem to focus their attacks on Corella. So 1.
Damn birds developing brains now.
Oh, that's a miss as well. They both miss. So they're just kind of flying around squawking, but they don't seem to have landed a hit. After that, Rudy, let's get another death save.
All right. Come on, nat 20. No.
I almost went the wrong way there.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2 fails and 1 success.
Yep.
Chat, you can always turn this around by donating to save dear Rudy from a terrible fate.
Hashtag save Rudy.
Hashtag save Rudy.
I mean, you could save her, or you could give wild magic surge and fuck it up. Up to you, chat.
The cleric needs some clericking.
We're also 1 retweet off of a viewer decision, so if you do want some shenanigans, just hit that retweet button.
Okay, well, Thea, in the meantime, what are you going to do for your turn?
Okay, so the birds are concentrating on my other elf friend there. So I'm assuming I have enough time to get another arrow out and unleash it onto the birds.
Sure.
Let's see how bad I fail.
Okay, 12. 12 is a hit. Yes, it is.
That's 1d8. Where'd the 8 go? Is this it? Got it? Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, and max damage. Another crack and a poof, and dead.
Look, I shot straight this time.
Okay.
Excellent.
Corella.
I want to have at some more bird butt. There's 1 bird left, right? Or still 2?
Just 1.
Just 1. Awesome. Yeah, I believe in myself. I'm gonna take down this bird. T20. Am I sounding convincing? Nat 20!
Pretty convincing. Pretty convincing.
Alright, so, Do I damage the die? Double the die or roll 2 die? On a crit.
2 double dice. Double dice.
Double. Alright, so just roll it once and then. Got it. I got it. Right. 2d6 because I get a sneak attack because Thea's right there. So that would be 6 twice is 12 plus 3 is 15.
Well, the birds have a whole lot less health than that, and so with a crack and a poof, bird is again gone. And even though that ends us in combat, I'm going to go ahead and advance it to next turn because Rudy, everybody is patiently waiting to see if you will pass or fail this next dex save. At
the last moment, Cord
save
is
and
reaching out
well,
and has granted
you're going to have
that 20.
That's right. Okay, you already see. So yes, you do have a nat 20 on your next death save. 20, you kind of blink your eyes and wake up. You see all the carnage around you as there's feathers everywhere for some reason you don't know, and there's dead guardsmen all around.
Okay,
Sorry, I didn't mean to
stops
interrupt
hurting. that never stops hurting. Are we having a chicken dinner?
I don't think they're edible.
Friend, not friend. Unless you're particularly fond of red feathers.
Okay.
Where'd the priest go? Where'd the priest go? Rudy's kind of okay. He's gonna kind of pull himself up using his glaive. He's leaning on his glaive, and he's gonna walk over to the kid tied up in the ropes. Are you alive?
Sucked if he died.
He doesn't respond to you because he's currently unconscious.
Okay. I have no way of waking him up. Really curious what he did to irritate these people, but I suppose we should just take him out of here. Can we go someplace where there's healing? Is there healing somewhere?
Yes,
I think we
please.
all need healing. Can I do a medicine check to stabilize him?
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead and roll that medicine check.
Okay. You know what? Grabbing the dice and rolling is not doing well for me. Let's type that in. Sometimes when you're a cleric, it happens.
All right. Well,
maybe I should be a cleric.
You bind his wounds. You give him water to drink, and he, kind of opens his eyes and weakly starts to sit up and hold his head. Oh.
Yeah, I know how you feel, kid.
Oh.
You irritated somebody at Talos. We're in the Tower of Talos, and you irritated him, but good. But we need to get out of here.
Yeah. Let's head to my family estate. My brother will take care of everything.
Yeah, I've met him. Real nice guy.
It's actually his fault that they did this.
Wait. What?
Yeah.
The two of us are leaning on each other, kind of going down the stairs. I'm like, wait, what do you mean it's your brother's fault?
So as you guys are arm in arm, kind of lurching down the stairs.
Yeah, over the shoulder,
He says, well, my brother is a cloak. Part of the responsibilities of the cloaks is that whenever there is a person of, with magical talent, he forces them to register. And if you refuse to register for the city of Mulmaster, you're exiled. And apparently, one of I heard the guardsmen discussing it before they struck me in the head. They said that my brother had one of their sisters was a talented sorceress, and when she came of age, she was demanded to register, and the family refused. Didn't want her to work for the cloaks, and so they excommunicated her. But what I understand is she was ambushed on the way to their cousin's estate, and the family was slaughtered by bandits. So they wanted to kill me as a way of punishing my brother for the death that he caused in their family. We have to go.
So,
What?
are we talking Hatfield McCoys here?
No, I don't. It's just they were quite upset about the loss of their sister, so they wanted my brother to feel the loss of family. None of this matters now. They're dead, and he says, he looks over their shoulder. We'll get back to my estate, and then my brother will bring that Binacy in for her trials as well. Oh, we will be greatly rewarded. You have helped us very much this day.
Alright, yeah, as long as rewarding includes healing, we're good. What do you know about pastries? I ask him as we're still limping down the stairs.
What are you going on about pastries? I don't understand.
Your brother mentioned something about you and a tart.
That's just him being stupid.
Oh, okay.
We shall feed your stomach after you are healed. Sorry.
No, you're good. So he's like, yeah. If we get to my estate, we'll give you rest for the night, where we can all recover from our wounds, and we'll probably Binacy and all of her family will be, ritually executed because of their crimes. But that they should have thought about that. Please, we must hurry.
Moving as fast as we can with our 1 HP guy.
Great. I'm just going to quickly take care of a wild magic surge that was kindly donated. I'm sorry, chat. If I do miss anything, please tag me. I have a lot open right now. So that's a 1d10,000. That's 1433. Do you have the list open, or are you happy to look it up?
Alright, so me, if I have the list open, no.
Okay,
that's
fine.
fine.
I will find it right now. I've got it open. 1433. I project an air of competence even when it's unwarranted. I think that's very fitting.
That's the perfect wild magic surge for you.
That is. Now you know.
I don't think it's even unwarranted. You single-handedly came in and saved them from those guards.
Yeah.
Okay. So, going back, delivering him to his brother, actually wrap up the first of the encounters. He gladly has his servants attend to your wounds. You recover over the night, and he pays you for your troubles. And as promised, he sends out the city watch to root out the rest of Binacy's family in the darkness of night. And that will be the end of the first encounter. And I know a lot of you are new to the Adventure League system, so it's at this point we would hand out player rewards. As we discussed on our stream earlier, for a 1 hour session, you get 1 advancement checkpoint, which is what Adventure League uses in place of XP. Yes, I know it's this whole thing. We're not going to go into that. And you also get 1 treasure point, which will supplement your gold, and you get a bunch of downtime days. But none of that matters because we're just doing this for one shot for funsies. And then,
so this doesn't count as an actual Adventure League then?
Well, it couldn't, because we have viewer interactions and people tampering with the game.
There you go. Okay.
Yep.
Just make it.
I was just curious.
No, this is just for fun. So, after you guys recover from the harrowing, near-death experience the night before with the crazy Priest of Talos, you guys return to your previous duties. You're back at the party, kind of observing things, making sure everything is going well. And it is about midway through the second day, you begin to notice there's a tall, middle-aged man in fine silken clothes who's kind of hanging out around at the party. And throughout the party, he keeps looking at the three of you.
And we're at a viewer decision when you're ready.
Okay. Viewer decision. What can we do? Let's say, how strongly should this new person, because he hasn't said anything to them yet, how strongly should he react to the party? Should he be very pleasant
how should this person react to the party?
Yes, is he going to be pleasant and accommodating? Is he going to be very rude and curt? You tell me. How should he react to the party?
Okay, if everyone does a little VD and their little options, I'll add them up to a straw poll and send in the link in a second.
Do I recognize this person that's staring at us?
I would say definitely not. All of you are new to Mulmaster. You're only working at the party because we're running low on funds, and so a lot of people here are strangers.
So did we get our 33 gold?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Rudy is very, very close to this 33 gold.
Hey, Rudy has been without gold for most of his life. He's like, yes, I can buy a drink now.
So since I'm new to the group, how did the other two appear? I'm very curious. Sorry, just while we're doing your decision real quick. What are the other two wearing? Is this a fancy party or just a social?
No. So this party was organized by one of the wealthy merchants in the town, and she's trying to buy her way into nobility. So she's holding this huge ball, and she put out flyers, and you guys are hired help, bouncers and bodyguards to keep things secure. That's where the party first met. That's where you were when all the shenanigans from the last night's events unfolded. And that's where we are returning for tonight's shenanigans.
Alright. So far I have 3 fairly similar options. Anyone else got any suggestions on how our strange admirer, maybe, who knows, is going to react?
Maybe he really likes chickens and he can come up and talk to us about chickens.
You just type your decision?
Or fire chicken.
He's very snarky, alright.
Well, Rudy's used to the attention. I mean, he was...
Alright, straw poll is coming up.
So while, you're here, you're observing the party, you see this guy, and he's not being very overt. You can just see that he keeps, bringing his attention back to you guys. In the meantime, what are we doing at the party? Like, there's a lot of stuff going on here. So what would you like to do?
I'm assuming Thea's just kind of standing at like one of the walls, just watching people. She's like, I hate people. So many people here. Why did I agree to this? She's like contemplating her whole life existence right now.
And then what about Rudy? Where would he find himself throughout the party?
Rudy is circulating. He's kind of keeping an eye on things, moving through the crowd. Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Yeah. Maybe you saw me fight. That's why I look familiar. Of course. It's all good. And yeah, so he's making the rounds. He's kind of he stands about 6'6", so he's taller than most humans walking around. So he's got a nice overview of what's going on. So he's kind of keeping an eye out for those little swirls of trouble as they start to happen.
Okay. As you're standing here doing your ever vigilant duty to watch over everything, you see a man comes up to you, and without even asking, without saying anything, he just reaches his arms out. He grabs both of his hands around one of yours and just starts shaking it emphatically. He's like, I know you. I saw you before. You was a gladiator.
That's right.
Yeah, I
Did
was
you win
there.
I bet you won money on me.
Oh no, I bet on the other one.
Oh, sorry.
Well, it's still cool. Why are you in Mulmaster?
Well, I am here because, you know, I got my freedom. I pull out the little wooden sword, and I decided I was going to see more of the world than the ring that I was fighting in. Tucks the sword back away. He goes, so you traveled all the way from here to there to see me fight, or you from there as well? How'd you get here?
Well, I live here. We was on vacation.
Ah. So,
Yeah.
you're a guest here.
With my feet, I walked.
So you're a guest here at the party then?
Well, it's free. Everyone's allowed to be here.
That's true. That's true. You enjoying yourself?
Well, yeah. I'm gonna go get some of that free alcohol. That seems like a good time. You want to come get some of the free alcohol?
I'm not allowed to drink on duty, but yeah, I'll go with you. Come on. What's your name?
Oh, my name is Bibbly Bob.
Hey, Bibbly Bob. Nice to meet
Bibbly
you.
Bob.
My name's Rudy. You want me to sign something for you, Bibbly Bob? I've got an arm around him. He's now my new best friend. Walking him towards the bar.
I don't have a pen. I don't.
I have a quill. I keep one on me at all times.
All right. All right. He walks over and goes to the bar and starts getting ale. And you know, he's gonna end up kind of tailing you around the party for the rest of the night. Not because he's so much enamored with you being a gladiator, but more just because he's kind of an odd duck. He doesn't really fit in here, and you've been very nice, so he's just gonna kind of hang out and try to force you to drink with him. You want a beer now? Huh?
When I'm off duty, we'll drink.
All right, yeah, it's for
All right,
the best.
yeah, yeah, it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Where are we at
Hey,
on
did
that
you-
viewer decision?
Our viewer decision is in, and the stranger reacts by accusing one of them of being a doppelganger. You can obviously interpret that as you see fit.
Yep. All right.
As voted.
All right. So the night goes on, and it's another uneventful night. Luckily, there's no one getting in the fights, no one getting stabbed tonight. And as you guys are finishing your shifts, you're all collecting your things. You're walking outside of where the party was being held, and as you walk outside, that tall man that you had marked earlier in the day, the one who kept watching you and observing you as you were going about the party, he approaches you, and you see he's dressed in very fine silken clothes, and as he does, he kind of holds up his hand, and you see there are two burly dwarven bodyguards who kind of materialize out of the shadows. They obviously had to have been there the whole time, but as he holds up his hand, they walk away. So you can tell he's making a big spectacle. I have hidden guards attending to me. I'm going to show you that they're there, and then I'm going to send them away, so you know we're speaking privately. He looks at you and he says, "I have been told you are mercenaries of a very exquisite nature with a variety of skills. I have heard of the incident with Larch that occurred last night, and I think that you could assist me in a matter most personal."
I feel your
Probably
overestimating strength.
Yes. I do trust.
No, don't listen to me then.
And
We
he
are
turns to you, he's
exactly
like,
as described.
exactly as described. Well, then I should hope that if I do hire you for your services, this will be a matter most discreet. Yes?
Is Bibbly Bob still following me?
No, he seems to have wandered off at some point.
Okay. I was gonna say I was gonna send him off to the tavern. I'll meet you later. I promise you, we will have drinks. Discreet,
What
of
say
course.
you?
We can absolutely be discreet.
Well, Lord Levin, the guy that you contracted yesterday, he told me about how you helped Lurch, and his and my family have very similar issues. My son has recently fallen in with someone who could tarnish my family name, and I'd like you to investigate this matter as well. Although I think the resolution may be a quite different from young Larch's issues, as I am not yet quite nearly as disliked.
Oh, so take out the pastries. This'll be easy, I think. Why are pastries bad again?
What are you talking about, pastries? I don't even know of a pastry chef in the city. It matters
Don't
not.
mind my companions. Please speak more of the specifics of this mission that you require us for, and we shall discuss the terms.
Well, you see, my son has fallen in with a woman, and her name is Helga or Ilga, something equally as trite. It's really quite below me to have learned her name in the first place. But she is a tavern maid that I have forbidden him from consorting with, as she often gets him into trouble. There was one incident where I caught him trying to steal from another noble family just to impress the girl. And obviously this is something we cannot tolerate in civilized society.
Of course not. Theft is a very dangerous crime, a gateway, some would say.
Pastries,
What is it that you would like us to do?
He looks at you warily and turns his attention back to Carilla. He says, you see, I haven't actually seen my son in quite some time. I have attendants and maids that will see to his daily needs, and I can't actually remember the last time I had a face-to-face conversation with the boy. Recently,
Do you
I've
still
been hearing
recall what he
rumors.
looks like?
Oh, of course. He looks very much like me. Tall, lean, handsome, dark hair. Surely, you would be able to see the familial resemblance, and you can tell. And you
Does
can
he
tell.
have a name?
Yes. The boy is named Stowe. And he is the heir to my family name. I really should make it a point of calling him by his birth name, but he hasn't quite earned our family title yet, which is why from henceforth he will be the boy in my presence.
Okay.
Children have a habit of disappointing. I completely understand.
It's so wonderful to have a conversation with someone sensible who understands the delicate nature of the noble houses.
How much will taking care of such a disappointing child be worth to us?
Oh, well, it depends. If you can, show me.
Show you?
Yes, show me. I heard that you were quite remarkable, and that you had ways of blending in.
At this point, Krella, despite not really being in the mood for it, is going to kind of step back into the shadow and then sidestep 3 steps left into the darker part and then try and stealth to show a bit of shadow blending.
Okay. He can't see you, and he's like, no, that's not what I meant. The other thing.
The other thing? That's just a
The other
funny
thing.
voice.
Aren't he kind of leans in and whispers. He said, "Aren't you a doppelganger? I had heard that you were very well trained mercenaries, and that one of you was a doppelganger. I thought it was you, young elf."
You
don't
insult
speak about
me by asking me to demonstrate something that's so sacred? Totally
No, talk
Well-
about this.
I'm quite sorry. I didn't mean to insult you.
You broke the first rule. You don't talk
Well-
about it.
Given what you've told us, we'll agree to keep your son's indiscretions quiet and contained if you agree to keep our abilities and natures also discreetly concealed.
Discretion works both ways.
Yes, absolutely. I had originally, and he starts kind of fumbling. He's like, originally, I was going to pay you 100 gold for your services, but it seems that I have offended you in looking over to Thea. Instead, I will double the price, just as a sign of good faith for our mutual discretion.
And perhaps you could send one of your friends to locate some lemon or raspberry tarts. My friends have a fixation, and it's a terrible sugar craving. You know what it's like when they get the low blood sugar.
I really would love to, but I'm afraid it's quite late at night. I wouldn't even know where to acquire
Other
such
things
good.
don't talk about.
I have full faith in your reach, my lord, whose name I have
bet you
already
know.
forgotten, but don't worry about it.
Yeah. I mean, with that, we can find plenty of tarts named Barry.
Don't talk
No,
about
you
your
can have
patient.
berries.
That's the second rule.
All right.
I'm really sorry. We'll revise the rules later.
Okay.
We'll get
All right. So he's like, splendid. I'm splendid. Let me give you some more information so you can find the boy.
Perfect.
Yeah, I've heard that he has been seen recently at the tavern where the girl is employed. If you could return him to my estate by tomorrow morning, that would be wonderful. I would prefer him. The name of the tavern, I believe it's the Bloody Boar. I can't be certain though. It's one of the establishments on the west end. If it's not the Bloody Boar, it may be the Maimed Adventurer, but I can't quite recall.
Isn't your friend the expert in taverns, Rudy? That bibbity boop. Was hanging around with you all night.
I think you broke him. Who?
I
I don't
can't hear-
remember.
I'm sorry, I
He's a
can't hear
really-
Charlie at all.
Oh.
Hi. Well, this is.
We get a magical tart for Thea.
All right. As you're talking with the Count, he makes that snapping gesture again, and he summons up the 2 guards that were with him. And he says, "Here, I need you guys to fetch the ladies something sweet. I hear they have a penchant for tarts. Have someone. I don't care who. I don't care the cost. You must get these for them. And while we conduct our business with these, it would be greatly appreciated." And you see him kind of wave, and the little dwarves go scurrying off to go conduct his business. And he says, I'm sorry. You said it. I had it in my mind. I wasn't going to be able to work past it. We had to address it right away.
Excellent.
Thank you. Wonderful. Most appreciated. Most appreciated.
Might I suggest we have 100 of the gold up front? Since we have not done business with you before.
Yes, but you see, that also works two ways. How do I know you're not going to take my 100 gold in despair?
We gotta
You know
take
my
care of the
secret.
pastries.
And you
Well,
also know that this
because-
party won't let me go without the pastries.
And I mean, we have a reputation. You trust us. Lord Levon paid us half up front, and hey, he got his brother back.
That is a valid point. Why don't you, let's see, it was your idea. Why don't you go ahead, Corella, and roll me a persuasion check. See if you can get him to give in.
Well, can I get advantage? Because I seem entirely competent, even when it's not true.
That's true. Very, very confident, and you got your wingman there backing you up. So yeah, have advantage.
Alright. My persuasion is +2. Alright. Sorry. Okay, let's see. I don't know how to do this with advantage, so I'll just do it that way. It's either a 15 or a 15.
I think it's
Nice.
15. Okay. So he kind of leans back, and he you see him biting his nails for a second, and then he pulls out a pouch and he starts splitting the coins into 2 bags, and then he just kind of hand holds it out. He's like, "Fine, 100 up front."
Very good. And I'll take out a piece of parchment or something for about my being and write him a receipt. As it's only.
I'm just gonna lean over and be like, shh, we don't talk.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm so very happy that you are again so civilized, and it surprises me that a doppelganger would learn such manners that would be applicable to the. I'm sorry. I've offended you again. I didn't mean to. I didn't.
I am very clearly a high elf, and she'll draw her fingers along her really long ears.
Oh, yes, it is quite convincing that the high elf. This guy is just wonderful. It's.
I shall let you touch me. I give you permission. And she turns her head so he can touch hers.
I don't know. I don't want to get beat. That's quite all right. It's, how about
Very well.
instead we continue to talk about our business? I would prefer, if you do find my wayward son, that you return him to me on his own. Please don't bludgeon him over the head and then drag him along. I just talk with him. I'm sure he can be reasonable. But if it does come to that, I will not fault you for it. Sometimes you need to have a little. You have to have a firm hand to spare the rod and spoil the child. That whole thing. Yes, but I would much prefer him unharmed.
Yeah, it doesn't look good when you got to drag the kid home bloodied.
There is no guarantee with this pastry-demic going around.
Yes.
I assure you, any mark on his body will not be visible.
We'll get the boy home. We'll get him home.
Excellent. Well, I suppose that we should be off. Oh, look! Yes, here he is. And you see the little dwarf come back. He's got one of those silver serving platters, and he pulls up and he lifts up the lid, and you can see that on it are 3, raspberry tarts.
He is gonna lean over to Rudy and be like, "Is this safe?"
Of course, it is safe. It was made by the finest chef in my employ.
Rudy takes one. He goes, actually, I prefer sweet rolls, but he'll eat the tart.
Oh yes. As you eat, you'll discover. I had my chefs put some of the finest ingredients, specialty things like ginseng and other magical roots supposed to enhance awareness and increase your combat prowess in case it were to come to that. So as you eat the tarts,
delicious.
and it's delicious. It just makes you feel refreshed and alert. It's almost like drinking like 3 cups of coffee all at once. And I'm gonna give you all inspiration that you can hold on to and use whenever you like from eating the slightly magical tarts.
Very inspiring tarts.
So,
Thank
how
you very
does
much
DM
for that
inspiration?
donation.
Yes, thank you.
How does
Chad.
inspiration
You're
work?
wonderful.
Is that what you were gonna say?
In Adventure League, yes, because I know a lot
It's
of
just like it
different
would in
home
regular 5e. Anytime you make a roll, or anytime a teammate were to make a roll, you can use your inspiration and give them advantage on the check.
roles. Okay, so it gives advantage. All right.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep. Okay. So now that everybody has pastries in hands, he looks up into the sky and kind of estimates. The night is going to be getting young. I think maybe we should be off. Yes.
Yeah.
But don't talk about it.
Oh, yes.
Has
more
he given
talking.
us his address?
Discreet. Yes. Discreet. We're going to
No,
be
where's-
discreet.
So we know where to
One more time?
return this wayward son to? Do we have his address?
Yes. Return. Yes. You'll find Stowe Manor on the east end of town. You can't miss it. Big house. It's clearly labeled.
Right. Wonderful.
Okay.
Let's
So
go
we
check out
set
the
off
tavern.
towards the west end.
Yep.
Yes. Taverns in the west end. The Leaning Boot or the Boars behind. I don't remember what it's called, but there's a ton of them down there. I'm sure
We'll
you'll
check them
find
all. Yeah, we'll check them all.
Meet in our people hands.
it.
Pub crawl.
Okay.
Let's go.
You ready?
I love it. We're getting paid to do a pub crawl. This is awesome.
I will
Okay.
actually give both Thea and Rudy 30 gold as their share of the 100 advance.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, thanks.
All right. So traveling through the to the west end of town, you see there are several taverns immediately in sight. There is the Black Blade, the Bloody Boar, and the Leaning Boot. And recalling all the names that he said, you're pretty sure that none of those were the ones that he named.
Yeah, there was
He
definitely
did
the
say
main
Bloody Boar.
Bloody
Yeah,
Boar?
he said something.
Yes.
Yes, he did give us the Bloody Boar. That was one he mentioned. Along with the maimed adventurer.
Yeah. Well, he's given like 9 different inn names.
Oh.
So the Bloody Boar.
Young people.
As you approach. Okay.
Is it like
as
three
you
taverns
approach.
on the same street?
One more time. That was a little low.
Is it like 3 taverns on the same street?
Oh, the entire area here. It's like slums, and there's just buildings stacked on top of each other. It's very dense, and when you look around, you can see like there's a tavern here, and there's another one like 4 houses down, and then slightly around the corner you can see another one, and then if you look even further down the road, you can see there's yet another tavern, but you can't quite read what it says. It's just
So
like
it's the endless village of taverns. Okay.
It's just very, very dense here. As you approach the Bleeding Boar, you see it's a typical dive bar located near the docks, and it's populated with the sort of clientele that you would associate with this kind of place. A lot of people, scars on their face, grimacing over half-full cups of ale. Everybody, there's this air of just menace, and as you enter, clearly outsiders, you get a bunch of very, very menacing looks. The way that you can tell you are in the correct inn is because in addition to the sign marked in common, there is a part of a partially decayed boar, which has been nailed to a post outside of the inn, which would clearly mark this as the bleeding boar. As you approach the stairs that are set by a ring of narrow steps leading down to a unlabeled door, before you open it, a laughing half-orc wearing a sailor's homespun trousers staggers from the place reeking of alcohol. Blood trickles from various cuts on his face, and a knife protrudes from his shoulder. He looks at the three of you standing in the doorway, points at the dagger sticking out of his shoulder. He says, "It's a slow night," and he just kind of stumbles off down the road.
That's a slow night. This seems fun.
Just like home.
After you, Rudy.
You got it. Yep. Rudy just kind of barges right in.
Okay. Within the tavern, the patrons here have settled in for a long night of drinking and probably worse. Other than the occasional glares, most people are already too involved in raucous conversations to pay much attention to you. And the barkeep behind the bar is an elderly woman who is busying herself pouring drinks and cleaning glasses.
I walk up and I kind of lean up against the bar. I was like, "Hi, I need an ale and I point to Corella. What do you want?"
Oh yes, an ale will be fine.
An ale.
An ale.
Yeah.
We're looking for the torch, right?
Well, it'll be one silver piece for some sprig ale.
Do you have a house special?
That's all we got is sprig ale. Perfect. And she reaches out her bony, clawed hand, and you see it's kind of shaking from Parkinson's. And she reaches out and goes to shake Rudy's hand. She says, "The name is Ma. How are you?"
"I'm wonderful. How are you?" And I bend over and I kiss her hand, and I'm giving her 6 silver as I do.
Damn fool!
I kiss it.
Come in here, kissing my hand like I'm a young trollop. I'd never.
We're looking
as
for the
I've taken her hand, I'm putting 6 silver into her clawed hand, and I say quietly, "I'm looking for a young lordling who's gone missing. Seems to like ladies named Ilga, something like that."
The pastry lady, yeah.
She takes your coins and she looks at them and she kind of sits back, purses her lips, and you make a persuasion check while I determine how she reacts.
All right.
I'm gonna actually turn my back and look very disinterested in what Rudy's up to, kind of just scanning the room.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and use my advantage on this.
Okay.
My DM inspiration on it. So
Yep.
Let's see what happens.
Okay. So we got 15 and 2, so 17.
Yep.
Before we get to that, you, Corella, as you kind of scan the room, you see a young half-elven woman with short, dark hair and long fingernails that have been stained a dark crimson red. You see that she has several scars on her face and neck, and as she kind of floats around the room serving some of the patrons, you see that she kind of keeps looking over her shoulder nervously at the three of you.
If, she catches my eye, I'm just gonna give her like a little, like a kind wave, maybe a wink to kind of imply that I'm just like eyeing her up, just in a like a flirtatious, checking out the barmaid's way.
Okay. All right. So she continues about her job, right? And she serves drinks for a little while longer. But after a moment, after she places her tray back on the bar, she comes up and approaches. She says, "Well, hello. You're a new face."
I was told this was the nicer of the 3 pubs on this road, and I thought I'd check it out. And you don't look so bad yourself. Corella like pretends to be really awkward and shy. Corella is not. Corella is competent at all things.
Well, she eats it up. She looks around and she's like, "Yes, this is of course the best of all the nearby taverns, because this is where young Mixie works." And she gives like a little bow.
Oh, young Mixie, is that your name?
Yes. It's a pleasure to meet you.
That was very nice to meet you too. Is that the elven spelling of Mixie, by any chance?
Oh, I wouldn't know, actually. I wasn't raised by other elves. I actually grew up on a pirate ship. It's where I got most of these, and she points to all her scars.
Very nice.
Yes, I am quite a formidable warrior. And she kind of, you can see she's kind of like flexing on you a little bit, trying to show you like how strong she is.
I would really like to introduce you to my good friend Rudy. I think you would get along swimmingly, if you don't mind the pun.
Oh yes, which one is Rudy?
This is my handsome friend right here.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought that we were getting along quite well.
Oh yes, we are.
Rudy's like, yeah, okay. he's got this one. He's figured it out.
Tell me, I heard a rumor that there was a lordling that came in here. You heard such a thing?
A lordling?
Well, Mixie, you're the finest barmaid. I would assume you'd notice those little
like
knobs.
A pastry, but a male pastry.
Exactly.
No, not ringing a bell. Do you know anyone that this lordling was with? Who is he?
No, but he's tall, dark, and maybe not your type, but handsome, so I'm told.
Mm-hmm.
Lean?
No.
Ish.
I think I would have noticed. I'm sorry.
That's fair enough.
Have you noticed any other of the female pastries?
A lordling? Are you sure he would be here? We don't get many lords coming to
he might
the
be in
West End.
disguise. That's why I'm asking you. Being a pirate, you'd be able to spot someone on the hustle.
No, afraid not.
No.
Please excuse me. I have to attend to him
I'm
over there. And you
terribly
see
sorry.
there's someone like raising his cup of ale, like, "Hey, another!" And then she goes off and continues serving drinks. But I have a feeling she'll be back.
Come back.
While she's away, you
Don't
notice
worry,
that.
Thea. We'll ask next time about that Helga.
Okay. While she's away, you see that Ma is leaning in on the bar, right? And she's like very anxiously like listening to you guys' conversation. And she looks in at you and she says, "So why do you seek this lordling? Tell old Ma, I know lots. Many a patron come through and I listen. Yes, Ma always listens."
Ma has
I think
a
he's
keen
got
ear
a
and
pastry
teeth.
addiction.
Pastries?
Yeah, that's.
I have some pastries for you if you would like.
Oh,
He likes
no,
the
I'm
tart.
not looking for.
The lordling, he likes the tarts. One in
Lordling.
particular, yes.
Does your lordling have a name?
He usually goes by Stowe.
Lord Stowe. Yes. The poor lost thing. puppy dog
Yeah.
came in every night seeking Ilva.
That's the one. Yeah.
She works here
that's the
occasionally,
one.
serving drinks and keeping the patrons happy. After refugees from Flan began arriving, Ilva changed. She used to be quite quiet and unassuming, but now she showed up work with her hair cut very short and dyed a brilliant red. It was quite alarming.
And the lordling?
Well, since then, she had been meeting strangers in the tavern, one of them being the lordling. But, I don't know, she's had much stranger patrons. So, yes.
When was the last time the lordling was here and met with her?
Hold on a second. I can't read my notes if you're standing in front of the page.
I can't.
Yes. Work is
Just standing in front of my screen, I can't read anything.
It was
Put that away.
cat died 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Sabotage. Yes. Ilva meets with strangers in the tavern, spends time with them even when she isn't working, and she's even missed some of her shifts. And after one of these days, she came in looking exhausted, hanging out with your young Stowe. Whatever it is, they're up to no good.
Well, when was the last time they were in together? When was this?
You know, I wouldn't know. But however, Mixie is quite good friends with Ilva. She may probably know more than I.
And Mixie is such a delightful soul.
This one's on you, Corella.
Oh, well, alright. I suppose
She
I
doesn't
can
like my
handle
kind,
it.
remember?
Oh, yes,
He's
vividly.
gonna lean over to Rudy and be like, "Is she getting a patient?"
Okay.
No. More like a sampler tray.
Oh,
Hors d'oeuvres.
Okay. So Mixie finishes her round attending to the patrons, and then she comes back and she cozies up real close next to Corella. So, what are you doing? Like, I'm gonna be off soon. Did you guys want to go from this tavern to another tavern, and then to another tavern?
Do
maybe?
enjoy a good pub crawl. Perhaps, we were just talking to Ma. Perhaps your good friend Ilva could meet us. I hear she's a fun one for a party too.
Ilva. Why are you asking about Ilva, perchance? I barely
Because
even know.
Mom
her.
knows.
We're not very close at all.
Oh, Ma
I
gave
like
me
redheads.
a wrong impression.
Hmm.
Yes, Rudy is very particular, apparently. So, much like yourself, very discerning taste.
Well, I have no connection to Ilva, and I'd appreciate it if we turn the attention
Oh.
back to you.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Well,
What attention would you like to pay?
well, particularly, where are we going after this? I heard that the maimed adventurer has very good soup.
Oh,
If you're
I do
interested.
like soup.
Oh, yes.
I didn't see the main adventurer on the road on the way down here, though.
Oh, it's very near. It's very near here. Just it doesn't matter. We can do anything you'd like. I just thought that could be fun.
Well, that's sorted out, but I have to find entertainment for these two, otherwise we'll have no privacy.
Entertainment. Oh,
Honestly, it's like
Maybe-
trying to lose your own shadow.
maybe some
I
other
like-
time. Then I don't know if I can arrange something on such short notice.
Oh, Minxie, you are a an inventive woman. You've sailed the 7 seas. You've survived terrible conflicts and come out on top. I'm sure you can manage.
I'm sure I could too. But I don't know. What is your interest in what is your interest with Ilva? Why are you asking of her?
Like I already covered, Ma suggested she would be entertaining, and she's a redhead, and said you were friends. Really, if there's another girl, I don't particularly care. You're the only one I'm interested in, of course.
Let's actually, Ma, I think I'll be leaving early today. Here, let's go on. You can bring your friends too. It's quite all right.
Thea, Rudy, apparently we're about to go on a pub crawl.
Are there going to be pastries there? I need to learn
lots
more
of
about
pastries.
it. Oh,
Blondes, brunettes, redheads.
okay.
Yes, Rudy, we know you like redheads. Yes, we had that conversation. All right, Minxie, lead the way.
I was excited. Okay.
Okay. She leads you out into the street, and as you walk out, she kind of pulls her coat up around her, and she says, "Here, follow me. It's actually just around this here corner."
Before
Can
we
I incite her to see if she's about to shank me in an alley?
and I was just going to ask, was there anybody paying undue attention to us while we were in there, talking to her, that kind of slid out?
Particularly, it was Mixie paying undue attention to you, and yes, you can absolutely incite her.
I want to do a shank test. Or Oh, I'm sorry. This only meant to be +1, so it's an 11.
11. Actually, that's sufficient. As you are walking behind her, when she does that thing where she pulls her coat up around her, you can see that she has a dagger clearly hidden on her side. And as she's talking, you can see that her hand is kind of hovering near it, and she's like looking over her shoulder at you. You're getting a very strong impression that something is not right.
Can I reach out and grab her wrist to prevent her from grabbing that dagger?
Sure.
Dex.
Sure. So she looks around and she says, "Get your hand off of me!"
Oh, well, I'm sorry, Minxie, but it appears you were about to be a minx indeed, and I'd rather not get stabbed tonight. Is there something making you nervous, or is it just that you wanted to harm us?
I can't. Let go of me! And she was trying to pull her hand away. I almost hit you, Cat.
Don't panic. You'll cause undue harm to nearby felines. Now, Minxie, I will make you a deal. Tell me why you are protecting your friend, because clearly you are, and I can understand that. But I wonder what you believe we're going to do to your friend.
She still has her hand raised and clenched in a fist, as if to defend herself. But after a moment, she just kind of slumps down to her knees, and you just see like she can't hold on any longer. She's like, "I'll tell you everything. I just don't make me go back there."
Oh, back where?
They're all mad. They're mad as rabid dogs. And that terrible man is the worst of them, with all his stories about fire. It's witchcraft, pure and simple.
Oh my dear. Can I escort her down to a closed doorway type situation where it's the best shelter, put an arm around her, still keeping her hand near that dagger because I really don't get her stabbed.
You really could use without a wound today.
Yes.
Yep.
No more wounds, please.
Rudy's going to kind of keep watch, make sure that nobody's coming up on us, nobody's coming around, undue interest.
Okay, and as you escort her to a nearby door frame, she's sitting on the step, and she's kind of pulled her arms around her, and she's looking down at the ground the whole time. She won't look up at you in the face. You can tell she's very upset, and she begins to talk. She says, "See, Ilva, she came here recently from Flan. At first, she was quiet and kind, and then one day she was so very excited, more than I had ever seen, and she was talking about hearing something that changed her life. She said that a dwarf spoke to her about how to get everything she ever wanted, and she insisted that I come and listen when the dwarf spoke next as well. I accompanied Ilva to a nearby shack in the Zentarum ghettos of the city, and we sat with a great congregation of people. And then, before my very eyes, a dwarf with flaming red hair and red beard came into the shack and spoke about the fire that burns within us all, and how to use the fire to get what you want, and how your passions will make your life better. It was enthralling, and we attended the talks regularly. We even cut our hair short and dyed it red, and she kind of pulls at her hair to represent the fire within our new selves. But at one day, at a special meeting, the talks got pretty intense. There was a lot of chanting and dancing, and the room grew terribly hot. I had a vision, the entire building engulfed in flames, and the speaker transformed to some sort of creature made of fire. Although I know it wasn't real, I was so scared I never went back. And, Ilva was very upset with me when I abandoned her. She warned me that if I talked to anybody about the dwarf, that I would pay. And I didn't really think much of it because I didn't intend to talk to anybody. But now I found that Ilva has managed to get some noble to accompany her to the speaker's meetings. And if they are looking for Stowe, I think they should look for him at the shack where the dwarf speaks. And Ilva might be there too. I won't go. I'm terrified, but
no.
You have to get them away from that place.
Yes, I think we shall. Now, can you draw me a map or give me at least reasonable directions?
Yeah. She kind of she goes through the process, explain to you how to get to the Zent ghettos and how the shack is completely isolated from the rest of the ghettos, and that it's impossibly hard to miss because there's a bright red sun painted on the side.
Now, I know it was very traumatic, but do you remember the layout of the building? What it was like inside?
I only ever saw the main room.
And how did you get to that? Just through the first door?
Yes.
Perfect. Wonderful. Well, Minxie, you're doing the right thing by not getting involved with this dwarf fellow, and I'm very proud that you have the sense to do that.
Were there other doors inside the building?
It was always quite dark. I don't recall.
Okay, just wanted to know.
Thea's gonna pat her head and be like, "It's fine. Pastry withdrawal is a hard thing to get through."
Thea, do you have one of those left by any chance? The ones that we were gifted.
The pastry thing? Yeah, here. Just hand you the tart that the guy gave me because I didn't eat it because I was not sure.
Now, Minxie, I know what it's like when you work in a tavern and you're kept on your feet all day. Why don't you eat this? You'll feel much better. And take this gold and treat yourself to something to make you feel better. Perhaps a new haircut. You don't want to live with the mark of that terrible dwarf on your head. You're better than that.
She takes your gifts and misreads your kindness entirely, and she moves in to give you a hug and potentially more.
Sure.
Oh.
And I wrap my arms and I give her a gentle kiss.
You're too
She's been
kind.
helpful, and I don't want to get
Too
stabbed.
kind. Oh, thank you.
Please
I will not. I will not forget this. and
Sorry,
and
what
she
was
kind
that,
of
Thea?
she.
I have
I
woman
won't
in my
forget
face.
this. And,
I won't
she
forget to
takes
do
her
that.
little pouch of coins and her tart, and she starts walking off into the night.
Live a wonderful life, Miss Minxie.
Okay. It was that tart that saved Minxie from involvement in Scientology. Yep, that's it.
Just down my car.
Minxie's directions. You are able to easily find the shack that she had described, and when you look at the shack, you see that the shack, calling it a shack is a little bit of a misnomer, because it's not just this one room, like kind of small structure. It's actually like a one-story building, and it has the red sun painted on the side, and in front there is a red painted door. The door is currently open, and as you approach, you can see flickering firelight peeking out between the loose planks of the shack. From within, you hear a dozen or so voices speaking in low murmurs, while a deep, resonating voice booms above them all. The door to the shack is painted bright red, and there are two dwarves with flaming red beards leaning casually against a wall just inside the door. They notice your approach, stand up, and block the entrance. "Sawed off," one of them says casually. "This is a private affair. Invite only."
Praise be to the flame.
We were invited. Ilva invited us. She left an invitation for us. Yes.
Wait here. And one of the dwarves walks away. The other one stands in front of the door and just crosses his arms and stares.
I stand in front of the dwarf, cross my arms, and stare back down at him.
You go ahead, Rudy. Good plan.
Leans over to Caleb. You know where the pastries are from?
Okay. As you are waiting, a moment later, the second dwarf returns, and as he does, you see him lean in and whisper something to the first dwarf, and then he turns attention to three of you. "Ilva invited no one. Azer says no one is coming in."
Oh. Well. Praise be unto the flame anyway.
He looks at you strangely, and then you see him make a gesture. He kind of like forks his fingers like a triangle, and then he makes like a crossbar in the triangle, and he says, "Praise be to Imix."
Can I
copy that.
Try and...
Praise be to Imix.
So you're just gonna mimic it blindly. You want to insight. You see if you can try to
see if I can try to figure out what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, see if I can recognize the symbol, if this is just him like making us do stupid things on the doorstep. 15.
15. Okay. You recognize it. You don't know what the symbol means necessarily, but Imix stands out to you, and you realize that is the prince of evil elemental fire.
And suddenly it all makes sense. Yes, praise be to Imix.
As you stand here consorting with the dwarves, you smell smoke hanging on the air. Praise be to Imix.
The fire burns strong inside. It is a special day, isn't it? I am competent in everything I do, including implying that I know things about things.
Aye, it is a very special day. Today is the day in which we all forsake our earthly vessels and become one with the spirit of flame.
And you would not allow us to partake in this very important ritual? You deny my soul its place in charred ash?
You see, and the other one kind of elbows the first one. and he looks to him and he says, "They're not one of us." And they have maces in their hands, and they pull them out. And the one guy steps in front of the second. He says, "You could stop with the shenanigans. We're not allowing you into the building."
Oh, very well then.
Oh, you don't have to allow us. We'll just go in.
We need
Rudy,
to
will you
bait the
tell-
patient.
That's an interesting
not
statement.
needed. Permission
why
not
don't-
needed.
Why don't we go ahead and roll initiative? Because as you're continuing to have this conversation, that smell of smoke filling the air is becoming stronger, and there's an intense heat coming from the building behind you, and you realize the shack has been set on fire, and you can still hear at least a dozen voices chanting within the building.
That's a nat one for me and Thea.
I
Good at it.
I look
Cool.
down at I'm gonna look down at the elf at Galera, and I'm gonna say, we got these two. Go get the Lord.
I hear your plan and I accept it. Fine thinking, Rudy.
And then
See ya. Time to
let's
pew pew.
roll for them.
Oh, pew pew gets out the bow. I'm ready.
Handful
Okay, there we
extra
go.
arrows for Thea.
So, initiative. The two dwarves, they will have the first turn. Then it is Rudy, then Perilla, and lastly Thea. So, the dwarves, they pick up their maces. They're done talking. They start approaching, and as they do, you see that their beards are not just merely painted red. There's some magical property about them because their hair actually alights and becomes flame. And then as they approach, they start just wailing on you in a flurry of attacks with the mace.
In a blaze of glory.
In a blaze of, I really was avoiding it. Like I started, but then I didn't want to commit, and then it was too late. It's
So, like,
all right.
Goodness gracious, great dwarves of fire.
Rudy, you were the one directly in front of the door because you were staring down at him. So he's gonna attack you twice.
Of course he is.
So let's see. We have 1, 2, 7, 8, 9. 9's a miss. 20 though that will hit. 4 D6 plus 2. You're gonna take 4 damage.
Okay.
Okay. So,
I'm going to use my martial adept. I have riposte. I can use a reaction to make a melee attack when an attack misses me.
cool. All right.
So I am going to attack the dwarf that missed me. So it's a 15 plus 5 for dirty 20.
Oh yeah, that's a hit.
D10. So 6 plus 3 plus the D6. 5. So 9 plus 5, 14 points of damage to the dwarf.
Nice. And you see that it is a devastating hit. Like he doubles over, his fire beard begins to flicker and dim for a second. Then he stands back up full of rage and fury, and not dissuaded in the least. Okay, Rudy, now it's your actual turn. What would you like to do?
Do that again.
Okay. Wow.
But not going to, because that's going to be a 9.
Okay. And
The pastry
then
was strong with this one.
Yeah.
all right, Corella?
Corella is going to do as Rudy told her to, and I guess I'm close enough that these guys would have an attack of opportunity, right?
Yeah, you're all
Move.
very close, you know.
Alright, so I'm going to use my action to disengage, and then I want to use my movement to scout around the building. I'm looking for a window or a more decrepit piece of wood that is forming part of this shack where maybe the fire's got into it, or it's just, cheap wood. Some way that
yes.
I can get into this building.
Exactly that. As you flank around to the left side of the building, you can see that this is probably where the fire was started, and there is a portion of the wood here the wood is already old and it's dry rotted, and it is burning quite fast. And you can see through it, and you think with very little effort you could probably burst through.
All right. Can I only have a bonus action left. Could I use a bonus action to just jump through, or just wait till my next turn?
Yes, you can do it a bonus action, but I'm gonna need you to roll a strength check to see if you're able to actually physically burst through this wall.
I am gonna use the power given unto me by the magic top and strength. All right, I'm a +1. Let's see. And let's go for advantage, just in case. Is this right? Oh, no, that's all right.
Yeah. 121, wow!
So that's a 17 is my last roll.
All right, so you step back and you charge and leap. You burst through like you're Arnold Schwarzenegger in an action movie. You leap, land, and you look around, and you see that amidst all the fire, there's not the madness that you would think from a crowd of people in a burning building. Actually, it's the opposite. You see roughly a dozen or more people kneeling down in bright red cloaks, and many of them are on fire. These people are burning to death, but as they do so, they have their hands clasped and their head bowed down, and they are simply praying. And I think that's going to be it for your turn. We jump in, and this is what we see. And then next we have Thea.
Thea, she was told to get the bow out and shoot. It's been pew pew. So I'm assuming she gets the bow out, realizes she can't do shit with the bow this close, so she's going to try to whack them in the head with it.
Okay. Makeshift club again. All right. Roll a d20. Just flat, no mod. Woo! That'll do it. All right. Roll me 2d6.
2 of those?
Yep. Oh. So 6 damage. Okay. And do you have anything else after that?
I'm gonna use that to try to distance myself. So I'm like, this is a bow. I gotta be back.
Okay. All right. If you try to walk away, they're gonna get an opportunity attack. You still want to do that?
It's more like she's kind of stepping back just to get a bit more distance.
Oh, okay. Okay, but you're still adjacent. Cool. So then the two thugs, they're gonna pull out those maces again, and they're gonna continue their attack. Corella is already left, so she's on the opposite side of the building. So it's literally just Thea and Rudy, and the thugs are just going to try to bash the two of you. So let's do Thea. That's 8 and 18, so 1 hit for 6 damage. And then Rudy, 12 is a miss, and there's a dirty 20 for 2. Okay, and then after that, Rudy, it's back to you.
All right, let's go at him. So that's a 18 to hit?
Oh, definitely.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and use my last martial adept to do sweeping attack.
Attack them both. Cool.
Yep. So the first one is going to get 10 plus 3, so 13 slashing to the first one. And the second one will get 5.
So 13 to one, 5 to the other. That will kill the first of the dwarves, and the other one is barely wounded. He's still there. Okay. Next is Corella.
All right, just so you know, we need to start wrapping soon. But in the meantime,
almost done.
I am gonna scan the soldering crowd for the lordling. Looking for that dark hair, which I'm guessing is really hard to dye red. I know for a fact. so looking for that guy.
Just do a perception check to see if you're able to spot the tall, handsome human amidst all the cloaked
The
figures.
lean. Can I do an investigation instead?
Absolutely, that works for me.
It's a slightly better skill for me. Alright, that's a 19.
All right. It takes little effort at all. You run to the front of the room and just kind of scan, looking at everybody's faces under their hoods, and then bam, there he is.
Boom. My elven eyes. Never doubt them. I'm gonna, kind of using my cloak to keep me covered from catching fire. I'm gonna use my movement to get over there and to get to him.
Okay.
And then either action or bonus action to start moving him out.
Okay.
He's my
he doesn't.
mine. He's coming with me.
He doesn't resist you at all. It's almost like he's in a trance. So when you grab him and pick him up, he just kind of follows along.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thea.
Okay, there's one left.
One left.
Okay, I distanced myself a bit, so I'm gonna go and try to shoot my arrow at him this time. What is it? 8 plus 2. So 8, 9, 10. It'd be 10.
Okay,
Yeah,
so that's
yeah, it's 10 altogether with the dex mod.
and proficiency, so it's 12.
It is the plus 2 the dexterity, I think. I have no clue what I'm reading.
Okay. You're attacking with your bow, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So your attack is what you rolled plus your dex plus your proficiency. So it's actually going to be plus 4, which is a 12, which will hit.
Oh, and then that's 1d8, right? What is my 8?
Longbow, the 2 and dex is 2, so 4 total. And this guy was already hurt, and that is going to kill the second of the thugs. All right. So the 2 thugs that were guarding the door is dead. Nobody else is really resisting. We're just gonna wrap this up because we're almost out of time. So Corella grabs the young lord, ferries him out of the burning building as the rest of the people succumb to their suicide cult and everybody burns alive. Oh, praise Zimix.
Could I just quickly say, like, Corella would dump this guy outside and then she's gonna double back and see if she can find Ilva.
Okay.
And Rudy will go ahead and just pick up the lordling and carry him.
Cool. Can you do one more investigation check to see if you're able to find Ilva?
I just feel like I wouldn't leave without Ilva. She's a friend of Minxie's. Well,
you can't find her. I mean, all the faces look the same because they have the dyed red hair and oh my god.
I don't know what she really looks like.
It's either find her or burn alive, and you choose to not burn alive. So
I do choose to not burn alive.
Tomorrow was with us tonight.
Right. But you do escape into the night with the young lord intact. You return him to his father's estate, and the house guards at the gate take possession of Sebastian Boy's unconscious body, and they tell you that the count is not available. You make a big stink because he promised you that he would pay you and after refusing to leave and arguing with the guards, eventually a retainer will come out and pay you the rest of the money that you are owed. And that's gonna be it. Thanks everybody for playing. Again, we only got like 4 minutes, so we're going to wrap this up real quick. If everybody just wants to go around and again introduce yourself and tell everybody where they can find you, that'd be great. 1, 2, 3, Tree, you're first.
Hi. Okay, you can't find me anywhere. No, I don't really do anything. I'll lurk in the Discord, so go join in there. You'll see me. You can't miss it. It's just Tree Pal, pretty much. There you go.
Fair enough. All right, that's legit. Don't even try. I'm a lurker. Don't disturb me. All right, what about you, Cleric?
My name is Cleric of Cord. You can find me on Twitter at Cleric of Cord. On Tuesday nights, you can find me streaming on Twitch TV/Madbirds, doing an all-evil campaign where I play my tiefling draconic bloodline sorcerer. Yes, she has a very interesting family history. And then on Saturdays, we just started streaming on, I can't remember the name of her channel, but I've started streaming on Tyranny of Dragons, where I play a Cleric of Cord, Rain, a Bronze Dragonborn. Otherwise, you'll find me here sitting in chat, watching streams. Sometimes I'm doing one-shots over at Straticus. You can find me there. Thank you, everybody, for being patient with us, and have a good evening. You're getting close, Will. You're getting close. And Charlie, you're the best. You are the best. Thank you.
I am at Frost from Fire. You will find me here on Wednesdays playing Warhammer, and on Friday we have a whole new series coming up on Encounter Roleplay called Roll Up, and we're going to be making some characters in lots of different systems. That's at 5 p.m. Eastern, and I'll really appreciate any of you that come and check that out, because I'm really nervous and really excited. And thank you so much to Daddy Warbucks for letting me jump in. I had a great time, and thank you to Thea and Rudy, because I'm good at names, for the wonderful adventure of the pastry team.
Okay, and I'm Daddy Warbucks. You can find me on Twitter at Daddy Warbucks, and right here on Twitch at twitch.tv/Daddy Warbucks. We play D&D literally every day of the week. We do some non-D&D games too, but it's mostly tabletop over there. Right now we are playing through Princes of the Apocalypse, Tyranny of Dragons, Curse of Strahd, and the Through the Yawning Portal game. So there's a lot. It's a lot of fun. And I'm also I lurk a lot here whenever I'm not busy on my own channel. But thanks for having me. We had a lot of fun, and now we pass it over to Will.
Thank you, Daddy Warbucks.